82William, thanks for joining us today. Now, we're here at this conference. We're grabbing you on the side because you have a very popular blog we all know as called The Image Thief. Can you give us a bit more background into who you are, first of all, and we'll go into your blog?
Sure. Well, I work for a global public relations firm, so I spend a lot of time dealing with global companies trying to do business in China and with the Chinese media. The blog is something I do on the side, just because this is such an interesting place to live. One of the reasons why I'm here at China ICT is because I specialize in technology PR, and before I worked for public relations firms, I actually worked for a couple of technology startups back in the mid-90s and early 21st century, doing various shady internet-related things that, I'm sorry to say, didn't make me rich.
Now, you've got a very highly recommended blog. You know, anyone who wants to know an English language blog in China, your name always comes up, Image Thief. Can you just give us a background? Why do you blog? I'm pretty sure working for a global company, you're very busy as it is. What keeps you blogging?
Well, for one thing, I've always been a writer one way or another. And one of the things that makes you a writer is that you write. And so, as long as I'm going to write, I might as well put it all someplace, and that's what the blog is for. It's a compulsion, and I would do it regardless. In a more structured way, I find it so fascinating to live here, and the work I do so interesting. For me, this is a constant learning experience. You know, I came to China speaking a bit of Mandarin, not knowing anything about living or working in China, and it's been an adventure, and to me that was something really worth sharing. And part of the blog reflects that. Some of it is very much life in China, but a good portion of it is related to my work, which has to do with public relations and communication. So I spend a fair amount of time talking about how people communicate in China, how companies communicate, the government communicates, how public issues resonate, how ideas are shared here, and perhaps these are some of the things that have helped gain the blog some of its wider readership.
Yeah, speaking of wider readership, I'm wondering, when you are blogging, do you have a specific audience in mind, or are you just kind of just going with the flow with what you want to write? And does it surprise you as to the type of demographic that you tend to attract in terms of your readers?
This is going to sound a bit selfish, but the audience is me. I write first and foremost as a way of helping myself to process the things I see and observe and learn about. I didn't really set out to reach a particular group of people. I've discovered that it's mostly read by foreigners living in China or people interested in China but living overseas. It's pretty widely read by journalists living in China, which has always been gratifying for me. It's read by some Chinese people, but not many, primarily because it's in English. But also, I think the things I'm writing about are instructive to foreigners, less so perhaps to Chinese people, unless they want to understand more about how Westerners perceive China.
Now, my China 101 question. A lot of our audience is based outside the U.S., some of them new to China and at the start of their learning curve. What kind of advice would you offer that person watching right now for someone such as yourself who's been here as many years as you do? We were all new once. So what advice would you offer that person?
Somebody who's coming here or who wants to be here?
Actually, both. There's just someone who's interested or at the start of their learning curve, maybe doesn't have as many years as you.
A few things that I would suggest. Read everything you can get your hands on. Read, keep reading, and when you have run out of stuff to read, go find something else to read. And from a variety of different sources and points of view. Don't get locked into one media organization, one journalist, or one writer's perspective on China. Pull different things from different directions. This is a complex and nuanced country, and the only way to start getting your head around it as an outsider is to get as many different points of view as you can. Try to start learning the language. I'm not very good at it. What little Mandarin I speak has helped me a great deal in terms of understanding China, living here, and being able to process the things that I see. And finally, come here. If you want to work in China, nobody's going to pluck you from overseas to come here. Make the investment, come spend some time. It's a little bit difficult now because of the visa restrictions, but they won't last forever. But that's really the secret. Come experience it firsthand, get to see if you really like it, get a feel for what it's really like, and meet people. Come to events like this, start meeting people, start building a network, and that's the way to start getting pulled into the country and what's happening here.
Thanks so much for your time. Now, last but not least, where do people go to find your blog?
They go to news.imagethief.com. imagethief.com, or you can just Google Image Thief. It's all one word. Spell it like it sounds, and you should have no trouble finding me.
Thanks so much, William.
Thank you, Christine.